But this is a beautiful way to transition to the story that you wrote for foxsports.com this week, which is basically the gist of it. I encourage you to go read it if you're interested in the NFC North and the quarterback play in this division. Everything the Bears aren't doing for Justin Fields is what the Packers have been doing for Jordan Love. And that's why heading into a week 3 game against the Saints, Love is, I mean, look, I know they lost to the Falcons last week, but Jordan Love is absolutely meeting the expectations, if not surpassing them right now.
The thing is, Green Bay has this 3-pronged approach that has worked for the last 3 decades for them when it comes to a quarterback succession system. And that is that they bring a guy in while the other guy is still playing. You let him sit, you let him learn, you let him observe. That's what they did with Jordan Love for 3 years. And then once he takes the reins, he has, theoretically, there are some injuries now to contend with, but a good offensive line to stand behind, a reliable backfield to lean on offensively, and then a very talented defense that needs to play up to that talent level. And that's what we saw kind of go awry, I feel like, in Atlanta, where, listen, the Packers were up 2 scores in the 4th quarter. And it's not up to Jordan Love to have to keep pushing that. He did his job. He did his part. That's when he is supposed to be able to lean on a defense that has 8 first-round picks on it. So that is the type of system, that is the type of situation that Green Bay is putting their quarterback in, not to mention a very experienced play caller in Matt LaFleur, who actually has tailored the offense to Jordan Love. You see an incredible amount of motion with the Green Bay Packers, and that is by design. That's to not only confuse defenses, but to give Jordan Love a clue as to what he's looking at. You run guys in motion, you figure out if the defense is in man or zone or whatever it is. He actively does things and calls plays to help Jordan Love. That is none of those things are happening in Chicago, but Green Bay has a lot more practice at this than the Chicago Bears do.
All of that is fair, and I don't think you can argue that Jordan Love is currently in a better situation than Justin Fields. And I mean, look, Jordan Love has been phenomenal. I'm not trying to take credit away from him, but Chicago Bears defense not off to a wonderful start in this season. Falcons defense right around the middle of the pack. If you look at the metrics, if you look at the statistics so far this season, Jordan Love gets a much steeper test against the New Orleans Saints starting this weekend. Saints played 2 games basically before they allowed their first touchdown of the year. It's a very veteran-heavy defense. Dennis Allen, a very defensive-minded head coach. I'm curious for your thoughts on whether Jordan Love can rise to this challenge, which even at home, this is the Packers' first home game, but even at Lambeau Field, I think this is a different beast than what he's seen so far.
I completely agree with you. And you know that Dennis Allen, if nothing else, is going to be able to get a quarterback out of his rhythm. That is his main objective. And he has a ton of veteran players and guys that know how to do that on the defensive side of the ball. So again, it's also going to be up to the health of the Packers offensive line. They do have depth there. We don't know if David Bakhtiari is going to be able to go. Elton Jenkins has been hurt. So it's one of those things where you have depth along that line, and they're probably going to be the most tested unit right now in order to keep Jordan Love protected. That being said, the Green Bay Packers defense has to do its job, and they have to limit the amount of points that the Saints put on the board if Jordan Love is going to have a shot at this thing. So it is a rhythm offense. It's something that, and once Jordan Love gets into rhythm, he's good, but his completion rate isn't great right now. And that's something that I think that Dennis Allen is really going to try to exploit and try to get him out of rhythm as much as possible.